So Werder Bremen, he's played 100. These are absolutely crazy stats. He's played 134 games for Werder Bremen. He's got 54 goals and 40 assists.
That's crazy.
So that's 94 goal contributions in 134 games. That's actually quite staggering. So welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue. And Birmingham City continue to strengthen the squad with the signing of Marvin Ducksch from Werder Bremen to add power and pace to our front line. Now, this is an area in previous podcasts that myself and Matt have identified as something we really need up front. We know that we've got good quality players now, but we felt we needed some more physical ability. And I think that as we talk about the attributes of Marvin during this podcast, you'll see he's probably going to fill that role really well. So I think, Matt, this is another good signing. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I like the way you've kind of shafted everyone's pronunciation with the surname there, because everyone's been calling him Duck, haven't they, for the surname?
They've been calling him Duck, and I've noticed that. And I don't know if it is Ducksch as well, but with my knowledge of German beer and Bratwurst and the fact that I go to the German market, I thought I'm probably highly qualified to. But I think it's probably Ducksch.
Right.
But I stand to be corrected.
Yeah, this one seems exciting, Dad, because we've spoken on this podcast about a different outlet. You know, we've signed Kyogo, we've got Stano up top. Sadly, we can come on to it in a minute, Dad. Alfie May has left and joined Huddersfield, and we do wish him all the best in his career. But sadly, Alfie May won't be joining us in the Championship next season. So Yuki's retired as well. So we've
got Lyndon Dykes as well, don't forget
Lyndon Dykes, yeah, true. So we'll see what happens with Lyndon in the transfer market leading up to the season starting, Dad. But yeah, again, I think that's a key thing I want to kind of get across this video. It's a different outlet for us here, isn't it? You know, it's a bit more of a taller player, physical player. And what I like about him, Dad, I know you're the stat man, you've got all the stats. He's just as creative with his assists as he's a goal scorer as well. So he contributes. You know, he's got good assists, and I really like this guy because I don't think he's as physical or as old school as kind of Yuki and Lyndon Dykes, but he's clever. He's got his positioning's very good. He's good in tight spaces for his height and his size. He's very creative. He gets those assists in. So, yeah, for me, Dad, a different outlet, because we're going to need it in the Championship. You need to break different teams on different days in different ways. You know, managers set their teams up differently, and you know the way. Kind of like a chess match, isn't it? And often sometimes I need that different outlet, and there's no doubt he's going to offer us that moving forward.
He does. You do need physical strength, because you know as well as I do, Matt, that not just in the Championship, we also saw it in League One all last season, is that centre halves will try to bully the centre forwards. And this guy, I mean, he's 1.88 metres, so that's about 6'2".
Yeah, he is, 6'2", I think I read earlier.
6'2". I mean, and he's physical as well, so he's not going to get pushed around. And he gives us something that, you know, like we mentioned in the intro, that we really need up front. You know, it's all right having, you know, good tricky players, which we've already got. You know, players that can, you know, thread a ball, players, you know, that can make a difference up front. But you have to have that physical side to it as well. We spoke about Lyndon Dykes as well in previous podcasts about whether he could be that person. You've sort of alluded to the fact that, you know, see what happens in the transfer window. And I sort of agree with that. This does put a question mark now over Lyndon Dykes, because if this guy comes in, where and how does Lyndon play? Because it's the same type and style of player as Lyndon, isn't it?
Friends were looking very good shape in terms of squad depth. You know, just even off a numbers game, where does he slide in as well?
Yeah, exactly. But one thing I did read about this guy, and I know that Blues fans will know this as well, he's currently injured. He's got a calf injury, but I don't think it's anything majorly seriously. I know the Blues wouldn't have signed him if it was something that was going to be a major problem, but he has got a calf injury.
It's funny you reference an injury, Dad, because one of my top attributes is over the past 3 years, he's only missed 3 games.
Yeah.
So he comes to us with an injury, but for the past 3 seasons, he's only missed 3 games.
Yeah, but I believe he's got a calf injury. But you know, obviously, there's no way Blues would sign him if there's any risk that was going to be a major problem. And of course, he comes from the Bundesliga as well. You know, Werder Bremen, they finished 8th last season in the Bundesliga.
German international as well, Dad.
Yeah, he's played for them twice. Yeah, I'll give you some stats. I mean, it's worth looking at his stats, because should we do his stats first or his attributes?
Go stats.
I'll go stats because they're actually quite phenomenal, really, when you look at his stats. So let's look at his stats by club. So Werder Bremen, he's played 100. These are absolutely crazy stats. He's played 134 games for Werder Bremen. He's got 54 goals and 40 assists.
That's crazy.
So that's 94 goal contributions in 134 games. That's actually quite staggering.
That is staggering.
And that is Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga 2 and in the main Bundesliga because obviously they were promoted, weren't they? Borussia Dortmund's second team, which, you know, you can take with a pinch of salt, but it's still worth reading the stats out. 84 games played, 36 goals, 24 assists. Hanover 96, where Phil Neumann came from, 70 games, 34 goals, 15 assists. I mean, these are pretty impressive. Holstein Kiel, another German team, 54 games, 24 goals, 16 assists. That's 40 goal contributions in 54 games. Fortuna Dusseldorf, 19 games, 4 goals, 1 assist. St. Pauli, 12 games, 2 goals. He scored goals everywhere.
Yeah.
And like you say, what is really like intriguing and what you mentioned is that you don't need to just look at his goals. Look at how he contributes as well as assists. My research shows him playing as a false 9. So even though we might think that because of his goals that he'd be an out-and-out number 9, he does play in that position, but he likes to drop slightly deep. So he does like to sort of be slightly deeper.
Could he be maybe interchangeable in the 10 then?
Possibly. He could possibly be in that role, but he is classified as a false 9, which is a number 9 that slightly comes deeper.
Yeah.
So with those stats, the only thing that did raise my eyebrows a little bit was his age. He's 31, but he's coming down from the top league in Germany to play in the second league in England, with the experience, with his size, his physicality, and his goal contributions. He's going to be. I think he's going to be prolific in this division.
What's up with this whole sort of not writing people off, but saying as soon as someone hits the 30, 31 mark, they're old? Is that fair? I know you want to aim for someone 27, 28, 29, maybe that's the kind of prime years of someone's career. Because just at 31 doesn't mean they're going to be going on the pitch on a wheelchair. It's like...
No, you are right. It is almost like it's almost like a sort of line in the sand. You get to 30, I ain't going to say what they're doing in the team. If they're scoring goals, does it matter what age they are?
Exactly.
To be honest,
and also I quite like a bit of experience behind players, especially ones that are physical. I don't think he's quite a target man. I think that would be the wrong representation. But he has got that physicality. He's a presence. I think he's better with the ball at his feet than he is in the air, actually. And I quite like that because I've seen clips of him, Dad, and what I really like about him is in that false 9 is because he drops deep. We saw it with Lyndon Dykes on a few goals this season, to be fair, is he brings other players in. Yeah. And I love that. I love strikers that have the ability or 9s that come down and bring other players into, and that's where his assists come from. It's come from coming deep, playing the ball at his feet. You've got really good positioning, really good in tight spaces. Boom, you're off and you go. And I like that about him, the fact he pulls other people in. And it just made me laugh, the whole 31 thing. I do get it. Of course you want someone maybe a couple of years younger, especially if you're paying the kind of money which we're going to be paying. But I think United have proven now how ruthless they are. I saw a really good meme the other day, Dad. I know you didn't watch this show, but basically they said watching the Blues now is like watching Game of Thrones 5 years ago. Don't get attached to anyone because they're going to kill off your favourite characters. It's literally don't get attached to anyone at this club because United have proven. Yeah. I think Alfie May kind of really upset a lot of people, and only off the basis of him being a really good guy, a really good servant to the club for the past year. And I think people were like, I really wanted to see Alfie May have his chance in the Championship. So again, I'm just saying that point, don't get attached to people at the club because Knighthead have proven, although they're going to pay good money, as soon as they've done their service for us or done the job that they need to, they will upgrade and get rid.
The club's moving really fast. And if the players don't keep up with that pace, then they'll be out the door, And, it is sad to see certain players go, but, you sort of got to look at the future. There's no real sentiment in football. If you want to be successful, you've got to make decisions like that. This guy as well, for me, I think could be a perfect partner for Kyogo because Kyogo likes to play off the shoulder, doesn't he? And with all of his assists here, you could see him putting Kyogo through.
Stano as well.
Yeah, well, we've got Stano as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but again, it's great to have these choices, and obviously his strengths. We talked about that, and you can see from the stats, his goal scoring and assists are his biggest strength. I mean, you can't argue with that. Those stats are as good as any I've seen in terms of doing research for a striker.
Only person who comes close to that is Kyogo. For his Celtic stats.
I think Kyogo's
crazy goal scoring
definitely for goal scoring, but not
for assists as well. Yeah, you're probably right.
He's with that as well. He's got big strengths in playmaking and link-up play, which you would imagine with those top of strengths. He's also a set piece specialist as well. He's known for a good free kick, and an overall quality of delivery, and his movement and creating space. He does sound perfect as always, and we know we always try to give a balance of on our research. So there's a few weaknesses. One of them is mentality and body language.
Right.
He's quite a moody player, and he's often being criticised where he sometimes body language feels a bit frustrated.
Doesn't look bothered.
Not bothered. I think he gets frustrated when things aren't going,
Right. His
or
way.
he's not getting the balls that he wants and stuff.
You're not in the game as much as you want to be.
But is I mean, is that an issue really? Is it a weakness? Because it just shows his keenness to win and to do well.
Depends on the
But what
context.
you don't want it doing though is
Bringing down the other players.
Yeah. So I think that's something that's cited as a possible weakness. Also, as well, he's not a traditional target man. So while he has got this physical presence, he's 6'2". He's not that classic target man which excels at holding the ball against defenders or winning aerial duels. He just performs better when that's combined with other technical skilled or pacey players, which you'll get with us.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, his attributes are very, very strong, and I looked at all the signs before he came in, all the signs we've been doing, and that's one thing that I really wanted was a strong physical centre forward, and I don't think really we could have got a better one, in my opinion, for obviously where we are at the moment.
The only one looming question is all of his football's been German. So again, and don't get me wrong, there isn't a criticism because look at Clara. He was at Southampton earlier in his career. I get it, but how do they adapt to the English game? Because it is different, isn't it? So there is that unknown.
Clara's Austrian.
He was, but he did play for Southampton Youth Academy when he.
He played, and we did buy him from Darmstadt as well, which is
he had familiarities with the English football league. This guy hasn't. How will he adapt? It's just a question, really. And
if we break it down to the lowest common denominator, isn't it? It's a round ball going into a net. You know what I mean? And even though there are differences in the pace and style and technicality in certain leagues, football is football, and that's why they get coaches.
It is, but what I would say about English football, it's fast. In comparison, from what I've seen over the years, everyone knows the Premier League as an example. I know we're not in the Premier League, but it's the fastest league in the world. The pace they zip that ball at each other. Even me and you, Dad, when we're watching Blues train at St.Andrews, we're always saying to each other, how do they control that? They're absolutely blasting at each other, But see, my point is just, English league is a faster style of football. It'll be interesting to see how he adapts to it. I'm sure he'll be fine, by the way. But I've got the same as you, Dad, just really quickly. Smart off-ball movements, combination play, linking up, bringing the midfield into it, goal threat, shows composure in the box, really good assist potential, as we've highlighted with his stats. And he's also experienced at the highest level, Bundesliga in Germany, the national side, and he's also managed to get consistent results over the years he's been there. So this is like 95% amazing, 5% little niggles that you're going to get with any player that comes in. So for me, Dad, I think this is a great signing. I
think this is the bonus as well of getting a 31-year-old player. We couldn't talk about all these attributes with a younger player really, because he's been, and what he's done now, he's actually proved he's done it virtually everywhere he's gone. I mean, some of the teams he's played for as well. They're all obviously, I mentioned them when I talked about his stats per club. Werder Bremen, Borussia Dortmund, Hanover, Holstein Klein, Fortuna Düsseldorf. They're all big German clubs. So he's played for them. He's played for the German national team twice. He made his debut only in 2023. But he's played twice. So you don't get to enter that German first national team without having something about you. But he's, I won't talk about his transfer history because it's just all those clubs I just mentioned, really. But looking at his experience in the various leagues, so he's played 138 times in the Bundesliga 2, which is the equivalent of the championship level in Germany. 71 goals in 138 games and 34 assists. In the actual Bundesliga, the top league in Germany, he's played 130 games, scored 34 goals and 28 assists. That's in the top league. If that was a Premier League striker who played that many games and had that many goal contributions, you think that's a good player. In Liga 3, which is the German third league, 54 games, 19 goals, 14 assists. I mean, those stats are pretty impressive. I mean, as you mentioned, Matt, and I think it is a fair point, actually. Is coming over to the English league for the first time, and that could be the only transitional thing that might need some form of adaptation, maybe slightly. But with his age, he's going to know. He's 31, and we keep alluding to this, doesn't he? But for him, it's probably his opportunity to try a different league, to try and end his career in a flourish. I mean, as a 31-year-old, he could be playing as a forward up to 33, 34.
Yeah.
Maybe longer if he's one of these really physically fit players.
Exactly.
So he's still got a few years left in the tank yet, and I think that we've probably for us signed him for the perfect time, and also shows Nighthead's intent at trying to do something very special this season.
Exactly.
By giving us some real power in that forward line.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I've got nothing further to add, Dad. Yeah. No, another exciting signing. And I just can't wait to see how this all comes together. I'm going to reference again that first game against Ipswich. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd love to know what you think, Blues fans, about the signing of Marvin Ducksch. It's physical, as we mentioned, which is what we want, and height. Where and how do you think he will fit into the Blues team, and how do you think he'll do? Let us know in the comments below. As always, we hope you've enjoyed this podcast, and if you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't checked us out on our social media channels already, then pop along to our X page, our Instagram page, and if you'd like to watch or listen to your podcast on Spotify, you'll also find us on there, and you'll see the handles appearing on the screen right now for all of these channels. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already and you'd like to, pop along to the YouTube page. You'll see the big red subscribe button there. Press that, and if you press the bell icon next to it, you will get notifications every time myself and Matt put a podcast out. So that's it for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it, and myself and Matt will see you on the next one, all about Birmingham City.